Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the Houndmaster fighter subclass mod by Havsglimt. This is a recreation of a homebrewed class by so many robots here, their Houndmaster. It's got level support up to level 20 and tons of abilities. You can check out the mod on mod.io, also linked in the description. But I'll be going through the full 20 levels here and showing you all the abilities and a bit of combat and gear options. So we're first starting off with a fighter. I'd recommend grabbing the defense feat here, as this gives more survivability. The ability score, we do need some wisdom. I would recommend a stat spread of something like this. Wisdom is used for a lot of different abilities here, so we want to have a decent wisdom stat. And I like going around dexterity here, as I find that with medium armor and bows, this works really well for just weaving between different attacks. You can go strength based if you prefer though, but 16 dex, 14 constitution, 16 wisdom. You can also swap dex and constitution if you want to use armor class that limits you to a +2 to your AC. So we'll roll with that. Level 2, you get the ever-powerful action surge, but level 3 is when we get to choose our subclass here with the Houndmaster. This gives the passive there, leader of the pack. It also comes with the friend to beast. You gain expertise in animal handling. You also get the leader of the pack proficiency bonus to the Warhound's armor class, attack rolls, damage rolls, and their hit points increase with your fighter level. Your hounds make death saving throws as if they were player characters, and at high levels, you recruit additional hounds to your pack. We also get the commanded attack. When you hit an enemy with a weapon attack, you can command one of your hounds within 1.5 meters of the target to make an additional attack as a bonus action. You also get the animal friendship spell and the stabilize warhound. Stabilize your warhound, preventing him from dying if it goes down. We also get to take the leader of the pack, either a dog, which is good at flanking, the warg, which lets out a mighty roar, and the blink dog, which can teleport. I'm just going to go with the basic warhound, but we'll be showing you a few different options a bit later on in this video. Level 4, we get a feat. I would recommend at this point, alert is great if you're on honor mode. If you're going to use it for honor mode, I'd recommend a dexterity increase. However, I just think that ends up being the best for overall survivability and damage. Level 5, extra attack. You guys know the deal. It's a nice power spike. Level 6, we get ourselves another feat, and at this point we can max out our dexterity there. And at level 7, this is when we get more subclass features. With the sniffing trouble, you and your hounds make an excellent tracking team. When within 18 meters of any of your hounds, add your wisdom modifier when making perception and survival checks. Furthermore, your hound's keen nose can discover many things hidden in the world. Level 7 also gives us the dogs of war, so your hound's combat skill increases, granting them evasion, magic, fangs, and directed assault features. You also get the improved leader of the pack to gain the companionship of another hound up to the total of 2. So now I get to choose another doggo. At level 8, another feat. Alert is a great choice for that. You can also go Savage Attacker if you want to increase your damage die. Level 9, Indomitable. Roll your saving throws if you end up failing one. Level 10 gives us the improved leader of the pack. You can now have tree dogs. You got praise dogs. Masterful Hounds improves your target warhound's combat abilities, giving it the ability to enter either cripple the targets with its attacks or increase its mobility. So you get, again, more abilities to continue to level up. It powers it up. Extra attack, you know how strong that is. At level 12, we get another feat, and I mentioned going with an ability score improvement on wisdom is another option, but the Savage Attacker is a solid choice too. If you want to reroll your damage die and just increase your overall damage, it's not a bad choice at all. Level 13 gives us another Indomitable stack, and you can continue to get more of those. Level 14 gives us another feat. We could go with an increase to our wisdom at this point. You can also go with the dual wielder feat if you want to use 2 weapons. That's another fun choice you can go with. Or Great Weapon Master or Sharpshooter if you want to use more bows or anything like that. I'm going to go with the wisdom there to buff up our dogs a little bit more. Level 15 gives us the Unleash the Pack. When you use your command attack feature, you may command all your warhounds instead of just one. So you get all the doggos attacking. At level 16, another feat here. Defensive Duelist is actually another good weapon choice if we're going with Finesse weapon like Fowler Alluve, because this will allow us to add our proficiency bonus to armor class, which is pretty good as a reaction. Level 17, we get Indomitable 3, giving us another stack if we fail a saving throw. And then level 18 gives us the pack Savagery. You and your warhounds fight in perfect coordination with each other. Whenever one of your hounds deals damage to a target, the next attack you make against that target within 1 meter or 1 minute, so 10 turns, deals an additional 1d4 of damage. This effect can stack up to 3 times. Level 19 gives us another feat here. And we could even go with if you want to ditch the shield because we have defensive duelist, you could go with the dual wielder because will give us a +1 and allow us to dual wield weapons, so this can get pretty strong. And level 20 gives us the additional attack, so 4 attacks per action. So again, you get to choose a dog at the start, and what this will end up looking like. So you got your summon warhound, so we can call forth our doggo, and we can call forth 3 of them. So boom, there's our dogs. They each got 65 health each, looking like a German Shepherd. It's pretty cool. They got their bite attacks, and then they also can dash, disengage, and all that. And you can buff them up even further by using the Masterful Hounds, improve their combat until long rest. So you give them a Crippling Fangs, which gives a 1d4 penalty to the target's next attack roll, or it can allow it to get increased movement speed and use dash as a bonus action. I'm going to give it the Crippling Bite here, so you can apply that to the doggo. It now has the Crippling Fangs, so whenever you go to use the doggo, it's going to do that special effect there. So yeah, there's some cool buffs. Again, you can apply this onto all the doggos there, and just it lasts until long rest, so you will have to reapply that afterwards. So there you go. You can also stabilize if they go down. So there's the doggos, and I'll show you gear options. So I went with the Mask of Soul Perception here for a +2 to attack rolls. Additionally, you can add in the Helm of Baldur too if you want to give yourself a bit better armor class later on. The Haste Helmet in Act 1 also works well. I got the Cloak of Protection there, the Armor of Agility, which will put our armor class up to 28, and then we can increase that even further with our Defensive Duelist feature. This adds our full dexterity modifier, so it's pretty nice. We could also go with the Ballast Armor, since all the dogs have a piercing attack, so that can be really good. Just depends on what type of weapon you want to use. If you want to use a slashing longsword, then that changes things. I'm using 2 longswords here, but I'll show you some options. I also have the Dark Justiciar gauntlets, adding additional necrotic damage to the attacks. If you want early game, the Gloves of Dexterity work well. And additionally, we could also add in something like the Crater Flesh gloves to give additional damage on critical hits. Or if you just want to add straight up fire damage, the Helldust gloves. It's straightforward on that one. You can also go with like the Martial Exertion gloves here, or the Wondrous gloves, to further boost up our armor class. And then also Evasive shoes, but also the boots of Stormy Clamor, or the Disintegrating Nightwalkers can work as well. We also got Fowler Aloof in the main hand, and the Blade of Oppressed Souls there in the offhand. We want to have at least one finesse weapon here in our main hand, so that's why we're going with something like this. Fowler Aloof is a really good one because we can additionally add a bunch of damage whenever our dogs do bites with our Streaking Song. And then if you really want to go crazy, you could do a dark build with the Shar Spear of the Evening, creating darkness around you, which can help out by hiding yourself. Knifey Thunderbound King is another good choice too for a weapon if you want to go with something like that, but I like the any of these long swords that are finesse. So Fowler Aloof with that finesse, and Laurentian's Wrath is another good choice here, so you can go with that. But I think Shar Spear of the Evening, if you went with an evil playthrough, this is going to be the best choice for you because you can get the blind immunity. We also have the Amulet of Greater Health, but you can use even something like the Periaptic Wound Closure to keep yourself healthy. We also could have taken the Tough Feed. That would have given us an extra 40 health or 284 health. I think that could have been overkill though. Killer Sweetheart for next critical hit, and armor class increase from the Ring of Protection, alongside Hellrider Longbow for the +3 to initiative. So what this looks like in combat with our little doggo friends here. Another thing, you can use the Hero's Feast here to give ourselves a nice buff to the dog's health. As well, you can also use the Aid spell. So my recording messed up, but we're back now. So yeah, the dogs have a pretty good hit chance here. I guess I should have used it against this target here. 80% hit chance. I'm eating all the opportunity attacks of today, I guess. It's not ideal. But the Crippling Fangs there applies that negative 1d4 penalty to them, so really useful there. The dogs are great though, because you can use them to kind of wall off enemies, and they do have not the highest damage, but it's enough damage, so we can get our dogs in here. Again, attack with advantage. And the beautiful part about the Fowler Aloof there, you can see that extra thunder damage, very meaningful. It hits actually surprisingly hard. For some reason, it looks like it's triggering it 3 times. And it is, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, Fowler Aloof, very good weapon from Act 1. And we'll again use the doggo to bite here with, eating another opportunity attack. But the Fowler Aloof, again, being a huge buff, because it's, 15 thunder damage. That's crazy. That's because we hit a critical hit, so that rerolled the damage die, but extremely strong. We also can utilize, so if we have the Shar Spear, we can use Arrows of Darkness to give ourselves some safety bubbles. The Arrow of Many Targets is really nice too, because it's going to chain along to multiple enemies. And if you have a bow like this, it's going to apply Fairy Fire. You can see that there. It goes really far with the bouncing. So yeah, we can go again with another critical hit there. Boom, finishing both of those targets off. Or I guess that one's still standing, but yeah, the damage potential here is pretty crazy because you get the 4 attacks. A fighter is good, but a fighter with 3 dogs is even better. And I'll start another fight so that I can showcase this off a little bit better. So there we go, spectator popped out. Yeah, this is the best part of the dogs though, is the extra crowd control that you can do by drawing enemies to different areas too. If you have a druid, you can see there, getting hit with volley sucks because the dogs usually lump themselves together at the start of combat, making it kind of challenging. We don't have Fowler Aloof up, which is our mess attack, but You can still see the dogs have a really good hit chance, so that's super useful. Yeah, 2 attacks with the crippling fangs applied to the enemy is perfect. You can run, but you can't hide from the doggos, so yeah, they do have a pretty powerful attack compared to some other summons, but it's not brokenly overpowered at the same time. The Society of Brilliance is casting Featherfall and different spells like Insect Plague there and killing a bunch of civilians, kind of funny. And again, anytime there's multiple targets, the arrow many targets is probably your best bet because you can hit that and it's going to go around training to other enemies. That took out 2 of our enemies there. And then also, an Arrow of Darkness works really well against anything that's tough like this. So then we blinded it, so now it can't see. We got that disability on it so that we can continually keep hitting away at it with other different powerful spells. So yeah, if you're playing this, I would recommend playing with kind of like an archery focus, but you can also obviously do melee attacks too with this build. So it's another thing you can go ahead with. So boom, yeah, that was just enough there. The fighter itself is really strong, especially at level 20, so I'd recommend using the Tactician Enhanced mod. But the doggos are really good. They they hit for roughly around, you've seen about 17 damage each, and if you have Fowler Aloof active, that doubles their damage pretty much, so they are quite strong. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an incredible day.